Gist with Mrs. Fabulous, where we gist about matters that matter to married women. So today I'm making a fresh pot of egusi soup for my husband. And it got me thinking about cooking for your husbands, cooking for your husbands. So I'm gonna make this fresh pot. I've been home all week because it's half term. So I've been lounging around and the children have been cooking for me for the majority of the time. But today I thought it's Thursday, let me just do something, that kind of feeling. But then it got me thinking, does cooking for your husband make you a good wife? Or does not cooking for your husband make you a bad wife? And I came to the conclusion, I was talking to myself and I came to the conclusion myself. No, not cooking does not make you a bad wife, and cooking does not make you a good wife, because you can cook and still be a bad woman, and you cannot cook and still be a bad woman. So I feel like it all depends on the family setup. So maybe for newlyweds or about to marry, have a feel of how the atmosphere is when you've just cooked for your husband. See how he feels. If he's that kind of man that wants you to cook for him, and then as much as you can, as many times as you can, then cook for him. Most reasonable men know that we can't always cook. Like today, I'm going to cook this pot is going to be full to the brim because I will cook enough to last us a while, and I'll freeze most of it today. Most husbands, like my husband, they know that we can't cook every day. We can't cook sometimes every week. I can't cook a goosey soup every week, for instance. But if he is a man that wants to eat a goosey soup and there's a goosey soup for him when he wants to eat it, then everybody is happy. So sometimes you can order. Free yourself. I think we need to free ourselves from the burden of having to do this, having to cook all the time, having to clean the house all the time, having to go and do the shopping all the time, having to iron the children's uniform all the time, having to do this, having to do that, being superwoman, especially the cooking part. Seriously, you don't have to do the cooking all the time. Yes, it's okay to do it every now and then when you have time, when you feel like you're running low and all that stuff. But imagine if you're not feeling great in your body, if you have a pile of work at home and at work to do, and if your children are not well, your husband's not well, or for whatever reason, the time to make that pot of whatever it is going to deny you of time spent with your children. Seriously, it's not worth it. Order it. Call people that you know. Somebody like Abidam Kitchen, you know already that her food is good. Have somebody like that in your back pocket. When you can't do the cooking for your husband, just ring her up and say, can you sort your sister out? Just a pot of egusi, a pot of eforo, a pot of chicken stew, a pot of this, a pot of that, and have the house stocked with food. And at least for that time when you're going through whatever it is that you're going through that is not allowing you to do what you want to do, like cook for your husband, at least your husband, there's food at home. There's food for you, there's food for your children, there's food for your husband. So let's set ourselves free. I enjoy cooking. I cook all the time. Well, I cook. I like cooking, and my husband likes my cooking. But I never give myself the burden of I have to cook. I must cook. If I don't cook, it will nothing will happen. If I cannot cook, we will order. If I cannot order, my friend will give me food. If my friend cannot give me, I will go to my mom and look in her freezer for something. But please let us set ourselves free from the burden of having to cook. If you can cook, then fine. If you cannot cook, please don't kill yourself. Cooking is great, don't get me wrong, but release yourself, because there are times in a woman's life and in a marriage and in a situation, in a setup that you cannot cook. Today I'm going to cook though, and I am going to cook this banging egusi soup that when my husband gets home from work tonight, if I turn amala on top of it, it's game over. But do you get my drift? I'm home today. I have time. I can cook it, and I'm running low in the freezer of soups for him to eat when he comes home. And me too. I want to eat a goosey soup. So to give for that kind of situation. But I'm just here today. I'm just with Mrs. Fabulous to encourage that woman. Let yourself free. set yourself loose. If you can't do it today, you will do it next week. You will do it next time. You will have more strength next time. You've just had a baby, or you're recovering from an illness, or your children have activities that is taking up all your time. It's for now. When you get yourself back in order, then you cook that pot of soup for your husband by himself. You have a sensible husband now. He's not going to start causing a uproar because you do not make the egusi soup. So for seasons in our lives, let's just remember, make the make the most of what you have at that time, and then when you get to the next step, you change setup. Anyway, that's my TED talk. Let me face this egusi soup. This egusi soup has a combination of orishirishi that I'm going to be putting inside it. I have prepped all my ingredients, so it should not take me long at all, because immediately I finish cooking this, I will just cover the pot and I will go back and be watching my Nollywood to get for. So we'll have a blend of orishirishi meat stock inside, orishirishi inside, fish, dry fish, crayfish, and orishirishi vegetables. I have a variety of vegetables. I always do mix and match of my vegetables. So maybe I'll show you what the pot looks like at the end, and you can imagine what it will taste like. Anyway, enjoy your day, and I'll see you the next time we're gisting together. Until then, take care. Bye for now. As promised, the efo elegusi is now ready. Take a look at this pot. I told you it was going to be full to the brim. And in this pot we have everything. Shaki, bomo, bokoto, smoked turkey, dried fish. We have a special guest actually. Our special guest is this ejaudo. So I just soaked some in hot water and cut it into bite-sized pieces like all the other obstacles in my pot of soup. There you have it. My efo elegusi is ready, and this should last us a while. Anyway, I promised to show you, and there it is.